Well, Naledi, you recall this is not the first time that this has come up. Previously, this matter was dealt with by the High Court here in Pretoria, in which Magdalene Moonsamy, who is the legal representative for Kelly Khumalo, was inside this court on a watching brief. Both the legal representatives on the defense side were against that, including the state. Judge Maumela had ruled at the time that she should not be allowed inside court on the prospect that her client, Kelly Khumalo, would still need to testify in this particular matter. We understand that this letter that was written to the court and not addressed to the judge, we understand, but to the secretary, which is something that was also raised as a matter of concern by this particular court. Judge Maumela says this matter has been dealt with before. He's also quite perturbed by the manner in which this letter was addressed. It was not addressed to him, as I indicated, but to the secretary. But as you correctly point out, in that letter dated the 1st of November, we understand that Magdalene Moonsamy says that she wants to be part of these proceedings, back on a watching brief, wants access to the 2 dockets in this particular matter, and also wants transcripts of the proceedings, as well as transcripts of the bail application for accused number 2, Bongani Ntanzi. So the state also opposing that. You heard Advocate George Baloyi saying that the lawyer for Kelly Khumalo is not entitled to be inside this court. If it means that her client will testify in future, that could be quite prejudicial towards this case. That is also something that has been raised by Advocate Zandile Mshololo for accused number 5, saying that Kelly Khumalo is not entitled to be here. She goes as far as saying that Kelly Khumalo wants to be part of these proceedings through her lawyer in order to get a glimpse or to understand what other individuals in this matter, in the form of witnesses, are saying before she comes to this court to come and testify. So both the defense for accused number 1 to 4, as well as the state, and also the legal representative for accused number 5, all against this letter, also saying that the manner in which it was done was quite unethical, and that procedurally it was not also done in the correct way. Judge Maumela saying he was not going to spend much time on deliberating on this matter. You'd recall the last time I spoke to you, we had taken a break for just a short moment because Judge Maumela said that he didn't even have the opportunity to read this letter because it was not even addressed to him. So after he came back and you had the state and the legal representatives for the accused state their case on this application, Judge Maumela said he was not going to spend much time on it. He had addressed this issue before, and basically in this instance does not see the need for her to be present in court on a watching brief on behalf of her client, Ms. Kelly Khumalo, on the prospect that there's a possibility that she might, of course, be brought before this court into the witness box.
I mean, what we have seen in the past, even before this long postponement that we just had in the trial, is Judge Maumela speaking quite emphatically against delays to this trial, distractions, and even what he's called side shows to the trial. So certainly, perhaps you'd agree with me here that we're seeing Judge Maumela really wanting to get to the heart of the matter, to get to the cross-examination of Madlala.
Well, that's right, and this is an issue, Naledi, that has been brought up several times. Judge Maumela, in fact, it's not the first time he's raising this matter about sideshows in this particular matter, which have seen delays with us getting on with the actual trial. This morning we were expecting Madlala to continue in that cross-examination. We're expecting Timothy Tovane, who's for accused 1 to 4, to continue with the cross-examination, while after that, we're expecting Advocate Zandile Mshololo to begin a cross-examination of Madlala. But of course, the issue of this letter needed to be addressed. That has now been denied on the part of Ms. Kelly Khumalo and her lawyer in this particular instance. And not only that, I don't certainly want to mention issues pertaining to the court of public opinion. But, Naledi, simply when I tweeted about the fact that we were taking a break because Judge Maumela needed to read this letter, that had been addressed to his secretary, a letter dated the 1st of November, which I had already indicated, already the general public, I'm not saying that this trial is being or should be, led in the court of public opinion, but already you're having sentiments that are being shared from the public as well about, another delay, a short postponement. When are we actually getting to the actual issues pertaining to the actual trial itself? Something that Judge Malmela has long lamented, again this morning, concerned about that. I'm hoping certainly after this short tea break, that cross-examination of Tumelo Madlala will continue.
In the last few days before this long postponement, once again, Chriselda, we saw the presence of the Meyiwa family in court. Are they there today? And if so, what's the sense that we're getting from them, if at all?
In fact, yes, the Meyiwas are in court this morning. Every time they return to this court, it certainly opens up very old wounds for them, and wounds that we've heard from them time and time again have not healed. Every time they sit in this gallery, they have to hear about what is believed to have happened on that particular day. They've long said they want finality in this matter. They want justice for Senzo Meyiwa. They are back in court this morning, and I'm sure they're certainly hoping that there are not going to be any further delays in this matter or any sideshows, as many people have referred to them, and that we can continue with the cross-examination of Madlala, and perhaps once that is done, we're able to move on to the next witness.